Hello, buddy. I'm going to do some content that I've been kind of considering doing for a while now, but it's actually been triggered due to one of my subscribers. They didn't do anything, but it's triggered me to actually do this content. It's going to upset a lot of people. Don't care. Do not care. I'd encourage people to watch this regardless. Now, I am targeting it at a very select few people within the spiritual community, be it that I know them or I don't. Okay, but it's around how so many people, more so the generation before mine, so the people in their kind of mid-50s, down to the mid-40s and a little bit higher than that, I've been let down. I've been completely let down. Now, I've got a subscriber, obviously I won't say who, and for me, she is very clearly a starseed. That poor person has been to hell and back time and time and time again. Now, it's not until she's kind of come under my Dark Side Collective and kind of taken on board what I preach, that she's started to decide to start looking into a spiritual path. She's going down a bit more down a witchcraft path, and you know, I'll be here to offer my guidance. Now, just a side note in regard to that, anything that I preach and anything that I do in regard to development is about finding yourself. It's about being an individual. It's not about being part of some brainwashed masses, because it goes on within spirituality as well. And anybody who thinks otherwise is an idiot. You know, these people, these factions that preach the same thing. You know, I don't listen to the works of Dolores Cannon or Doreen Virtue and stuff like that, because it doesn't interest me. I'm a free thinking individual, and this is what I preach. Another one of my subscribers said, I'm gonna do a vision board with your inspirational quotes. And I said, well, I'm very flattered by that, but please don't. Please find your own, because I preach being an individual. Thinking for yourself. You're an individual light code. You're an individual vibration of source. You're part of source, but you're an individual light source, light code, vibration, whatever you want to call it. So please, please think about yourself. One of the reasons why I call it Down the Rabbit Hole, it's not strictly a spiritual development group as such, because I don't tell people what to do. I basically, I'm taking them on the journey that I am on, and what I'm discovering as I go along. Now, as always, I don't say I'm right. I'm just putting the pieces of the jigsaw puzzle together. And things change, they adapt and they evolve. But there's starting to become a decent amount of the picture that is coming together. And I'm going to continue to talk about it regardless if people don't want me to or not. Surprise, surprise, my throat chakra is going again. Now, it became kind of evident to me that this subscriber, she feels lost, and she feels kind of like, now that she knows a little bit more about starseeds and stuff like that, that there's this thing making her feel like she's failed a mission, and she hasn't. She hasn't, because she didn't know what the mission was. It is the generation before her, and I'm not talking about the whole generation, I'm talking about the tapped in ones. I'm talking about the ones that really know what's going off, who have failed her. And they've failed my generation as well. Now, I come from a very, very specific generation, okay? I'm 1982, and anybody who knows anything about starseeds knows that there's a very specific generation, and it spans about, I think it's about 6 to 8 years, and I'm in that bracket. Now, my generation, we were trained for war. Futuristic war, and you might laugh about that, but most of my generation at the age of 6, we'd seen Aliens, Predator, Terminator, RoboCop, the lot. Okay, and you might say, well, that's bad parenting. They had toy ranges for all of this. Toy ranges. We were trained to be who we are today. We are trained to be the warrior class starseeds or the warrior class Anunnaki. This was predicted and this was foretold. Now, there are certain people within the spiritual community who, like I say, are extremely tapped in, and they've hoarded the knowledge. They've refused to pass this on. Now, it's for two reasons. It's either that they decided that it was just easier to dip into the dark stuff, right, and feed their own ego and their pride. And that's most of the people on the event circuit who are making all the big money. That's who you're looking at. Sorry, whip the Scooby-Doo mask off there. The other half, this is going to trigger you, don't mean to sound rude, cowards. Fucking cowards. Now, there's no, as I always say, you're allowed to make money out of this game. It's your time, it's your effort, it's your energy. There's nothing wrong with making money out of your knowledge. But there's people in this community who make hundreds and hundreds of pounds off that knowledge. There's people in this community that specifically go out and set up development groups, not only to make lots of money, but also to identify the people who are good, who are there to identify the starseeds, who are there to identify the high-ranking light workers and take them down, chuck them out, try and shut them down. Because they've succumbed to the dark energies. Okay, now, you believe what you want to believe, I'll believe what I want to believe. For me, these people have the true knowledge, the knowledge beyond the light side rhetoric. They have the true knowledge. They know what's really going on. And they've kept it. They've hoarded it. And they've tried to keep us down. Okay, and it still goes on today. There's somebody else that I know in the community who's round about the same age as the person I'm talking about, is one of my followers. And she has done everything she possibly can to bring in change. And she has hit roadblock after roadblock after roadblock. She's taken hit after hit in regard to being taken down. Now, for me, and this is no offence to her, she comes from a different generation. And again, she's been hoodwinked, she's been lied to with this kind of love and light rhetoric. Now, again, you've not failed. You've not failed your mission. You've been failed. You've been failed by the people around you. You've been failed by the generation above you. Now, any of these people involved who know the truth and the actual truth, and I'm not talking about the ones that you know, sorry, it's going to offend you, been brainwashed into this love and light theology. The ones who have been brainwashed into religiously following certain doctrine. I'm talking to the ones that actually know what's going off. You've failed your mission. You failed. You failed myself. You failed my generation. You failed the generation above me. And more importantly, you failed yourselves. Now, for me, we are at a time where this stuff's starting to come down. The walls of Jericho are starting to crumble. 00101110, karma has been activated. I hope you're ashamed of yourselves. I really, really do. Now my generation is here, and I've been clear from the start. I'm not here to change the world. I'm a bridge. I'm a leveler. I'm here to level the playing field, right? When the time is right, I will pass on the baton to the dryads and their generation. And when the time is right, they will pass it on to the real ones who are going to change the world. The 8, 9, 10-year-olds now, they're going to be the ones that change the world. Now, anybody who feels like they've been let down, anybody who feels like that they've got pulled into some kind of corrupt way of thinking, you are welcome on this side of the fence. However, However, if you are still part of some faction that is in the know, if you are still part of some faction who is controlling you, you will be out. You'll be out. Because don't get me wrong, this isn't just the 70-year-olds, the 60-year-olds doing this. Because there are people in the community who are about my age, a bit older, a bit younger. And they have been pulled in, they've been told the truth, they know the truth, and they are now controlling. They are identifying people and they're keeping them stuck in a cycle. They are keeping them stuck from their true potential. And it's wrong. It's fucking wrong. Again, 00101110, karma activated. Enough is enough. Now, I'm also aware that there's a lot of people within the community, and again, we're talking more kind of development side here and stuff like that, who don't know the truth. They're still stuck at this certain frequency level that the light side is the way to go. They're still being controlled by councils and all that BS. They think that they're channeling certain energies. You don't know what you're channeling. You don't. Okay, the veil goes far beyond what you think it does. Far beyond. Okay, I am fully aware that these people have tried to control me, have tried to control what's supposed to be coming to me. And again, 01001110, karma. It's coming. It's coming, not from me, from source. Now this knowledge, this information, this truth that all these people know, by keeping it and hoarding it and keeping this rhetoric, this light side rhetoric going, it is keeping people trapped in the system. It is making people who are waking up to the fact that they may be a starseed and they're older feel like they've failed their mission, and they haven't. They've been failed, and there's still time. Okay, there's still time. However, what I'm going to say to these people who feel like they've failed their mission, again, you haven't. You've been failed. You have permission from source to focus on yourself. Okay, you have permission from source to focus on healing yourself. That is the most important thing for you now. Okay, it's my generation, my specific generation, the warrior class, the first round of leaders, true leaders, who are going to take the mantle up from here. There are too many people that will remain stuck in the matrix. We have become so programmed that people can't see beyond the first layer of truth. Case in point, and I'm just going to mention this briefly because it's not something I want to keep dragging up. One of my old workmates sent me an article. I believe it was from Kentway. It was about a chap in a Kent hospital who'd been misdiagnosed with cancer. And she said, this might help your cause. Okay. And I said, I appreciate you sending me, but I've gone as far as I can do with it. Okay. I said to people in the community that know me, I said, regardless of what your beliefs are, regardless of what you think of me as a spiritualist, I need your support and I need you to share my story. And they didn't. People are so brainwashed, people are so stuck in a fixed mindset that when something really horrific happens, really horrific, they're numb to it. They say that's terrible. Or even worse. And this is what the light side preach. They turn a blind eye. They turn a blind eye because they are more bothered that seeing the horrors, seeing the truth of corruption, scandal, greed, violence, discrimination, will lower their own precious vibration, that they turn a blind eye, they look the other way, and they don't want to expose the truth. The sad fact is, and I've said this the other day, you are not going to ascend. If you want to ascend, you have to break your karmic cycles, you have to go into the darker side, and you have to come out the other side again. And until you do that, you're just going to keep coming round and round and round again. You've been lied to. You've been brainwashed. Just like everybody, you can sit there in your ivory towers as spiritualists, thinking you know it all, giving it all the, you'll know when you get there. You're just as brainwashed as everybody else. Wake up. It's not too late for people to start passing on this knowledge, but you've got to be brave. You've got to stand up. You got to speak your truth. Now, I get that generations past doing the stuff that I do, talking about what I do, probably would have got you locked up. But there were other ways you could have done it. Other ways. But you didn't. Now, I don't need apologies, and I don't, because I've been on this path long enough now to know that most of you will continue to bury your heads in the sand. You'll continue to just focus on your own precious vibration and turning a blind eye. But those of you who do watch this and feel a pang of guilt, forgive yourselves. I don't want your forgiveness. I don't need your forgiveness. Forgive yourselves. Do the right thing. When I say do the right thing, if you're too much of a coward to stand up, if you're too much of a coward to actually talk about what's actually going off out there, that's perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. But stick to what you preach and continue to turn a blind eye and sit in your little white light-filled room pretending that nothing's happening and fade off into the distance. Enough is enough. I'm here to wake people up. I'm here to bring greater change, and I understand what spirituality is.